On today's show, I've got details on that Call of Duty remaster, another Star Wars game is in the works, release dates for Dishonored 2 and Persona 5, plus a look at Fallout 4's Far Harbor. Hey everyone, welcome back to Gamer Next Door. This is GND Weekly, and I'm your host Andrea Rene with your weekly dose of video game news. And as we get closer to E3, everybody, it is going to get crazy, and this week is no exception. Let's start with details on that Call of Duty rumor I brought to you last week. Of course, Activision, as predicted, officially announced Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And yes, if you pre-order the Legacy Edition, you will get Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered included with your game. It will include the iconic story campaign, the original multiplayer mode with 10 of the biggest fan favorite maps, including Overgrown, Bog, Backlot, Crossfire, and Crash. In the press release, the remaster is described as vibrant current generation visuals with fully improved texture resolution and detail, high dynamic range lighting, lit and shadowing VFX particles, revamped animation, and audio stunning sound, and much more. That's basically a lot of jargon to say that it's gonna look cool. But Activision hasn't said if they are going to sell the remaster as a standalone item, but I have to imagine that post-launch, they're going to because they love making money and everyone is excited about this. We also found out that zombies will be coming to Infinite Warfare. The cooperative mode created by Treyarch of the Black Ops series of Call of Duty games will feature a new storyline with unique gameplay features. Now, Activision isn't going into details yet about Infinite Warfare's extensive multiplayer offerings, nor have we gotten any details on what zombies will specifically look like, but E3 is right around the corner. I'm sure we'll see an extensive preview then. Bethesda announced the sequel to their wildly successful stealth game Dishonored has a release date. It's coming on November 11th, 2016. Coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC, Dishonored 2 will have you reprise your role as a supernatural assassin. But you don't have to play as Corvo this time around. You can also choose to play as Empress Emily Kaldwin. Non-lethal playthroughs where you focus on sneaking around and not killing anyone will return, of course, but I prefer to go in guns blazing and take everybody out. I mean, what's the point of being a supernatural assassin with all these cool abilities and gadgets if you can't be a badass with them, right? I don't know about you guys, let me know which playthrough you prefer. You can learn more about the game in the Game Informer cover story out right now, and expect to see some lengthy gameplay at Bethesda's E3 press conference, which will happen on June 12th at 7 p.m. Pacific. Speaking of Bethesda, they released a new trailer this week for Far Harbor. The massive expansion coming for Fallout 4 is due on May 19th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. The expansion is set in a post-apocalyptic version of Maine's tourist destination Bar Harbor, and Bethesda has said it's the largest landmass they've ever released for an expansion. In the DLC, you'll take on a case from Valentine's Detective Agency, and you'll be searching for a young woman in a secret colony of synths. Expect more quests, more settlements, lethal creatures, and of course new armor and weapons. You can pick it up for $25 or it's part of the season pass. We know that EA has lots of Star Wars content coming in the pipeline, but on Star Wars Day earlier this week, they announced that Respawn Entertainment, the studio behind Titanfall, that awesome parkour mech shooter, is making a new third-person action game set in the Star Wars universe. Stig Asmussen, director of God of War 3, will lead the team working on the game. He said, "We promise to pay respect to the Star Wars legacy at all times, a fact that will be constantly reinforced and honored as a central game design tenet." He originally joined that team back in 2014, and if this Star Wars game is anything like Titanfall, sign me up! Hopefully we'll learn more at E3. Alright JRPG fans, I know you're out there. Publisher Atlas has finally announced a release date for Persona 5. Did you guys remember that this game was originally announced in 2013 for PlayStation 3? Well, it's still coming to PS3 and PS4 on September 15th, 2016. Worth noting that the release date was only announced for Japan. We don't know yet if it will be global or if other regions will have to wait, but I will of course keep you posted. We did see some outfits which will be downloadable content that are inspired by Persona 3 and Persona 4, and Atlas announced plans plans for an animated project called Persona 5, the animation The Daybreakers is coming to Japan this September. In addition to the new trailer, there was an interview with game director Katsura Hashino about the game, but it's in Japanese, so hopefully Atlus will release a version with English subtitles. And like everything I've talked about today, we will learn more about this game at E3. But are you guys excited? Persona 5 is finally coming. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Now it's time for Tweet of the Week, and this week's tweet comes from @TexMex33, and he simply said, "I can't stop watching this." So clearly, I had to watch it. It's Cat Monkey, you guys. I love the internet purely for cat videos, well, and Gamer Next Door, of course. So thank you @TexMex33 for that awesome tweet. You guys can tweet to me @Andrea Rene using the hashtag GND Weekly if you want to share something to be featured on the show. And that's it for today. I'm sure I'll have more pre-E3 news for you guys next week. But until then, don't forget, the Overwatch beta is happening. You should probably download it and try it out. I hear it's all the rage. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next week.